Hello and welcome to the first ever Moonshot Direct. I'm Andrew Sherman, one of the creative directors here at the Moonshot Podcast Network.
And I'm Riley Hopkins, one of the other creative directors.
We are very excited to take you behind the scenes here at the Lunar Landing Module to show you the cool stuff that we have been working on that's going to release in the end of 2023 and early 2024.
We've got podcasts, we've got streams, we've got a bunch of other little weird stuff that we're excited to show you. So, what do you want to start with?
Riley, I think that I'd be very happy to start with, what if we introduce the last show pitched during our 2023 spring pitch season?
Sounds fantastic. Let's hear what Argent has to say.
All right, clap on 3, counting up from 0. 1, 2, 3.
Haste, wayfarer. The kings are gone, the old roads are ruined. Pledge your way instead to the summering lands, to the place which first bore you. Haste, for the earth turns, the straight lines are broken, and there is yet work to be done. Our silver days, they hold such magic as no king could ever imagine, but it is yours to behold. Witches and ruins and swordsmen and fae and songs from across the sky, lords, companies, and dreaming sands, the earth unending. You are the wind riding high through it all. This is the promise. Answer your purpose, and the world will ever unfurl at your reach. So, where to first?
Hello, my name is Riley Hopkins, and I do a show called Riley Hopkins and Their Amazing Friends. If you listen, you already know, but if you don't, it's a fan fiction-inspired actual play podcast where we take stories that corporations own and tell our own shit with them, because if we don't, who will? We're currently recording Season 4 of Interstitial AP for RHATAF, Interstitial Infinity. Infinity is led by Marin last name, and it follows Shadow the Hedgehog, Trish Una, Audrey Jensen, Alphonse Elric, and Shigeo Kageyama as they make their way through the Infinity Train. The cast is myself, Clown, Emma Crabmoney, and Jay. We're about halfway into recording this season, and we'll have a longer trailer after this video. But before we get there, let's take a look at what RHATAF has to offer for the future. After the closing of the Interstitial AP feed, the decision was made to have its continuation be here on RHATAF. As such, we've been planning future seasons as we speak. Right now, there are 2 seasons that are directly in the works for Interstitial. In order to keep some of the magic, we're going to keep what these are close to the chest for now, but know that they're going to be extremely fun. It's going to be good. One of these is one that I have wanted to do since we did Proximity. It lodged itself in my head as soon as the Proximity was pitched. So I'm very excited to get to it. On top of the precluding interstitial seasons, RHATF will also be taking on other genres, similar to our experience with Dragon Ball Uber. We'll play other systems and do less crossover stuff, and more just play in the world of settings we love. There are 2 seasons of those planned out as well. We currently are hoping to go interstitial season, setting season, interstitial season, setting season, and repeat that loop, while doing some goofy stuff like the poker nights along the way. I'm really looking forward to bringing this vision of RHATF to everyone, and it's going to be a great time to be listening to the podcast, Riley Hopkins and Their Amazing Friends. Because if you didn't know, I do have amazing friends, and I love to work with them. But for now, I got a train to catch. Talk to you soon.
So, all of you have woken up somewhere else from the world that you know. The last thing that you remember before you got here is you entered through a set of doors and there was a very bright light, and things are a little fuzzy after that.
I've been in faster cars in worse situations.
I wish I could go back to not worrying about whether I was the main character or not. I wish that just didn't matter and I was just a character and that was enough.
All of us are fucked beyond repair. We're here forever.
I don't think it's all stands. How the fuck could it be? But I'm gonna treat it that way, because that's what I know.
I wasn't supposed to be the one to kill someone that night.
I couldn't feel pain when I was a suit of armor. I couldn't feel hot or cold, and just nothing hurt me.
Nothing is better in this world than fighting a person that you've come to know over time.
I think because Audrey is on so, high adrenaline slasher film autopilot, I think by accident she deals great harm.
I would like to make a point with no room for argument.
Take control of the situation and deal great harm.
I'm just gonna start with deal great harm.
Shigeo, hit me as hard as you can.
So you're both now, dangling off the side of the train.
Which one of you clowns is in charge?
He glares at you and he says, "That would be me."
Dead.
You've been identified as problem passengers.
Whoa, no!
Oh god.
I will move again if nobody stops me.
I'm Marn. I'm GMing. I'm also playing Alphonse Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Hello, I'm Jay. I use they, them pronouns, and I am playing Shigeo Mob Psycho Kageyama.
I'm Emma. I use any pronouns, and in this game I'm playing Audrey Jensen from MTV Scream.
I'm Clown. I'm playing Trish Una from JoJo's.
My name is Riley Hopkins, and these are my amazing friends.
That's my hometown. I recognize this place. Whoever is running this train and is making the new cars, they're from where I'm from. Because this is not the only car I've come across that looks like that.
This guy doesn't even know that he's fictional.
(2023) so far.
Jordan, you just want to win real quick?
No, actually, Jeff has the lead. Jeff is probably gonna beat me.
Bruh? What you said is true. Accept it!
Oh my god.
Next person. Poop their pants on the news.
I'm going to for real break your arm! Inside of the Macy's!
To the fire and the flames, baby!
I think that's
Oregano?
Oh, come on!
Music choices, meanwhile, I'm in the A going A, L, start. I don't want to hear the sass.
Jesus, am I cold?
Yo. Lucky us.
You're absolutely right, Andrew. That is 1 point on the board for you.
You're sure you didn't pick up anything?
Affirmative, courier. My receptors did
Because
not...
I swear to God, 1 second I'm offering to help those suits, I get my hands on this thing.
We're through that's not right.
Fuck! Doga, how about that time?
Nothing was picked up on auditory sensors.
Oh God, okay. I'm letting up this time. You want to yell at me, you can howl all you want now.
Also, Lorelai doesn't know what a tiara is.
She doesn't. In either the book or the movie, she does not know what it is.
Yeah. They make her stupider in the movie with it, though.
Oh, yeah, they do. In the book, it's less like she doesn't know what it is, and more she's like, I can do this better. And then she puts it on backwards on her head and ties it with a ribbon because it's the 1920s. The movie, I couldn't tell you when it takes place.
Question mark?
It is like vague 30s?
There's an Olympics team.
There's an Olympics team.
Because can we talk about that scene?
Yes.
Where again, it's very funny to me that that anyone looked at this movie and was like, oh, Marilyn Monroe, you're too pretty. Like, we got to go put you in the sack for a little while so no one loses their minds. And then they're like, anyways, here's an entire Olympic team of gymnasts working out in the shortest shorts you've ever seen in your life.
They're also skin color shorts.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see everything.
It's going to be a special segment on our pod where we take a minute out of every podcast to say that we hate Mikey Way.
Michael James Way, the bass player for My Chemical Romance. I'm putting 1 minute on the clock and then we have to
or else we're going to keep going. It is pictures of the wettest, saddest, poorest, littlest meow meow, Mikey Way, in bed cuddling plushies with Chris draped, like, looking longingly at him.
He's, like, laying on the bed holding a pillow in front of his face.
Being so coy, so cute.
And it's like, you know that?
Yeah, it's like when e-girls, like, have their really cute oversized hoodies and, like, they got, like, sweater paws and they're, like, holding it over their faces. Like, that's what Mikey's doing.
Yeah.
He was the blueprint.
Yeah, no, he genuinely fucking was. All the girls today want what Mikey Way had in the 2000s. And it is my firm belief that if Mikey had been on Project Revolution, the blood smearing and then following kiss would not have happened. And then, like, a week later, when Gerard and Frank had a fucking fist fight on stage, also would not have happened.
No, because Mikey Way is basically the original form of the Kellogg's graham cracker to Frank and Gerard. Like, he kills the vibe immediately with his presence. But, like, Mikey wasn't there to essentially be the Frank Gerard cock block. And then things got out of hand.
Things got so out of fucking hand. Can you imagine being Mikey? And so, like, Frank has said that, like, he was emailing Mikey constantly on that tour because he was like, I miss him, so I email him, like, every day. And it's like, what must those emails have been like?
And who even knows he was checking his email on his honeymoon?
He wasn't.
Like, hi, Mikey, your brother's getting finger blasted on stage. Do you have anything to say? And
Mikey Way on Instagram is a terrorist. I'll just say that right now.
Yeah.
Is we get an exterior shot of the Kame house, and it has a giant sweat bead on it.
I love
It's alive.
It lives. It sweats.
It has
breathes.
emotions.
It has emotions. And now I can only think of how horrible it is that the Kame house has experienced what I have to believe is a unhealthy amount of self-pleasure that Roshi's done while watching all of those workout videos on his own.
He told me through a series of charades that he feels it. The motion.
The repetitive motion of my training.
The very specific vibration that you
I guess that's a
cause.
testament to how powerful I am.
Oh boy.
It is the most prestigious of the guilds for the snakes.
Yeah, Miss P has her own little drama here.
She
doesn't
does. She absolutely does. Oh, also, during the day, our snakes are the tables.
Oh, they are! Oh.
Your face was priceless. Oh
I've forgotten so much of this book and it's just coming back. And it's just punching me in the face.
I imagine Miss P got punched in the face quite a bit too, with a bunch of teenage owls sitting on her and eating off her back.
Some of whom who are used to eating snakes?
Again, weird, racialized context. These snakes, who are the nestmates, are literally tables, literally serving tables. What does that mean?
I mean, like, who doesn't love to do a little bit of human furniture every now and then?
My next card is the Knight of Cups. In this deck, that depicts a bottlenose dolphin. You need help from someone else. What do you need, and who do you go to? I am exhausted. What a day this has been. I was out in the desert, per usual, in the gully, looking at some lizards. I've been trying to see if their tails will make a component. I wait till they shed them, of course. I don't want to cause them undue pain. The scales from them, even those I think could be potent. A storm rolled in so fast I had barely any time to react, and before I knew it, there's a flash flood in the gully. I slipped, wrenched my ankle, knocked my head, shouted some words that I must have accidentally put some magic into, because before I knew it, one of the lizards was much, much bigger than it ought to have been, and both of us were swept down in a rush of water and silt and sand as it kicked up, half buried. I could feel that I was gonna need a doctor for my leg. Something wasn't right with it, to say nothing of the lizard. I managed to hang on to his back. He went where he would for quite a while, till I got him to calm down. Talking lizard is a funny thing. There's a lot of tongue, you know, the way it goes in and out. But eventually I got him to go to the train yard. I could have had him take me all the way into town, I guess, but he was getting real nervous and I needed to set him right, and I knew Frankie would be there this time of day.
Groundhog Day is a 1993 film directed by Harold Ramis. The film, starring Bill Murray and Andie MacDowell, is told from the perspective of Murray's character, TV weatherman Phil Connors, a cynical man assigned with the task of covering Groundhog Day festivities in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania, which he hates as he believes it to be a hick town. Over time, Phil realizes he's trapped in a time loop, forced to relive the same days over and over again. Snowed in, with no way to escape the town that he hates, Phil believes himself to be cursed. He has no idea how to make it to tomorrow. The film was a modest success at the time, but its impact wouldn't be apparent for years. Not only did it alter the path of Bill Murray's career, the use of the time loop as a storytelling device became more and more popular, being used to explore different ideas and themes in the decades since its release. Groundhog Day is a 1993 comedy film directed by Harold Ramis. Wait, shit, I said that already. No problem, I'll just edit it out. Just like how I edit out when I'm talking to myself. Like I'm doing now. It's still weird I lost my place at the top, though. I don't normally start losing it until page 2 or 3. That's when I really start to go crazy. I should probably make my intro shorter. Anyway, where was I? Modest success, time loop as a storytelling device being used to explore different... Right, okay, here we go. Groundhog Day is a 1993 comedy film directed by Harold Ramis, who co-wrote the screenplay with, oh my god, I'm stuck in a time loop.
And this is All My Fantasy Children. It's a character creation, world building, and storytelling podcast where each week, Jeff and I take your brilliant listener-submitted prompts, their short little phrases, ideas, little blurbs, and we take that and improvisationally on the fly, whip it into an original fantasy character, world detail, what have you, to help develop and populate an original fantasy world we have called fantasy.
It's great. It's a good show. I like it a lot. It's a great pitch. Skipping forward to our next card as well, it has prehensile digits because its second card is the 7 of clubs. So it has prehensile digits, fingers, something like grasps.
Is this plant with hands, Jeff?
Aaron, I stopped myself so hard from being like, I think it's just plant with hands. No, what if this thing is plant with hands? No,
I almost peed. You caught me so fucking off guard.
Are the ostensibly natural facts of sex discursively produced by various scientific discourses in the service of other political and social interests?
Now, hold on a second.
Hey, Riley, do you think that the ostensibly natural facts of sex are discursively produced by various scientific discourses in the service of other political and social interests?
I do think that, I think you're I think that seems pretty clear.
And this is the joy of this, right? Like, you're like, hey, wait a minute, this is right.
Yeah, you have to breaking it down in the way that we're doing right now, where like you are going slowly through it, and then we take a second to be like, what the fuck did we just say?
No, I can hear Jeff. I can hear Jeff on the stream.
Yeah, now we actually
I'll spill myself.
Wheels, co-creator of Got It Memorized, Interstitial AP, and Very Random Encounters. Some of you might know that I've been hard at work on a religious studies edutainment program entitled Total Depravity. The next episode is about a once continent-spanning extinct religion that you might never have heard about called Manichaeism. Chasing this story has led me to some of religious history's strangest, dankest, and most forgotten corners. And I've found something. I found it everywhere. It's in ancient Rome. And it's in the Sasanian Empire. It's in Hollywood. It's on social media. It's affecting my printer? And I've come to a conclusion so shocking, you're gonna want to be sitting down. People on the internet are wrong about history. The Manichaeism episode of Total Depravity drops this fall for all Moonshot patrons, and patrons can also watch the Shabtites V episode of Total Depravity on Patreon now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to a heated argument in a Wikipedia talk page, but keep your eyes peeled for the next episode of Total
Depravity. Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Jory Zone. Not on the moon right now. Can't breathe up there. Crazy, I know. I fucking if I knew that, but found out the hard way. Anyway, here back on Earth, in this special edition of the Jory Zone, we got an inside look at Jory's Diner, and he's given us an exclusive look, and we're going to answer the age-old question: what is he cooking?
Get the fuck out!
CWFP final episode, October 30th, 2023.
Riley, you don't know how to play Pokemon. I'm not hearing this from you. You look at a gym and you piss your pants and faint. 3 days later at a Pokemon Center, all your money's gone and you never even went in the door. Fuck off. Fuck off. One-shotted Starmie with a 5-hit Fury Swipes. Eat shit, Riley Hopkins.
Yeah, Jory Zone!
The official Moonshot Mario Party Championship.
A Milvian Mills.
this September. A reality show unlike any you've seen before. We took MILFs.
No, Bob, it's MILFs.
What, like they're mythical creatures like dwarves or elves?
It's the proper plural.
Lynn, it's not.
I think it is.
Oh, fine. We took MILFs and put them under one roof to find love.
But there's a twist.
Yeah, the twists. Their kids are also in the house.
And some guests. The drama.
Who will find love? Does no one else find this weird and Oedipal?
Edible?
No, Lynn, like the Greek god who fell in love with his mom.
Bob, that's disgusting. This is a family show.
No, it's not.
You've met Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Families are messy. Immortal families are messy.
Remember, boy, that a kind act can sometimes be as powerful as a sword.
I could use some damn French fries.
You've tolerated the Kane Chronicles.
It takes strength and courage to admit the truth.
The world may need fixing, but it's worth preserving.
Sadie, please do not refer to the Devourer of Souls as Poochiekins.
And your journey with the heroes of Olympus has nearly come to an end.
You must forge your own path for it to mean anything.
Life is only precious because it ends, kid.
Hercules, huh? That guy was like the Starbucks of ancient Greece.
Tell the sun and the stars hello for me.
Now, prepare to venture into a fresh world of gods and monsters. A mythology entirely untouched and underrepresented by pop culture.
Yeah, I know. You guys are gonna read about how I died in agony, and you're gonna be like, wow, that sounds cool, Magnus. Can I die in agony too? No. Just no. Don't go jumping off any rooftops. Don't jump into the highway or set yourself on fire. It doesn't work that way. You will not end up where I ended up. Besides, you wouldn't want to deal with my situation. Unless you got some crazy desire to see undead warriors hacking one another to pieces, swords flying up giants' noses, and dark elves in snappy outfits, you shouldn't even think about finding the wolf-headed doors. My name is Magnus Chase. I'm 16 years old. This is the story of how my life went downhill after I got myself killed.
Unwise Girls read Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, coming this September.
This is but one of the legends of which the people speak. Before life began, before the world had form, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaotic land of Hyrule.
They created the world that we know and left behind a symbol of their strength, a golden emblem known as the Triforce.
In a legend held dearly by the royal family,
it tells of a boy who, when the world was on the verge of being swallowed by shadow,
wielded the Master Sword and took up a quest to challenge Ganon's might.
The boy crossed seas and mountains. The journey was perilous. He slayed evil monsters and used their power to become a true hero.
With the passage of time, each conflict with Ganon faded into legend.
This is a tale that you humans have told for many ages, generation to generation.
But there are other
legends long hidden away from memory that are intertwined with this tale.
Hello, Moonshot listeners. I want to play a game. Claudia and Nicole are being held in the basement of an undisclosed abandoned building. Their task is to watch every movie in the Saw franchise before the release of Saw 10 on September 29th and provide thoughtful analysis. Your challenge is to listen to them cover 2 Saw films a week in their new miniseries, We See Saw, every Monday and Thursday here on the Moonshot Network. Let the game begin.
Wow, what an incredible slate of new shows we've been working on here. I wish I could take credit for all of them, but they weren't all my idea.
But even if they weren't our ideas, I'm still super excited to be sharing them with everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at this Moonshot Direct, and we hope you'll stick around to see these things that we've teased. Again, end of 2023, beginning of 2024. That's it. Bye.
Bye.
Get out of here. Go on.
All right.
That a show lacking in canon will be in need of film. Never believe it.
Never believe it! Never believe it! Never believe it!
Wait, no, but my mic was muted the whole time.
Yeah,
No,
I
why
don't
am
know.
Hold on, why am I doing this now? I hear myself. Twitch chat, can you hear me?
They can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can hear all of us.
Okay, so we were live. Okay. QA starting soon. Everyone please sit. Wrap your butts up.
Red Seraph said, oh, it's this new B-roll.
Yeah. Andrew is currently planning on moderating the Q&A.
All right. We are populated. We're here in the stream space, the Moonshot Direct space. We are here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
It's been a
Howdy.
while. Thank you all for coming out for the I'm going to say the first Moonshot Direct. I'm sure that we will do more of these in the future as we announce new projects and figure out what we are doing here at Moonshot. It has been a lot of fun to watch everyone put this together and make this a reality. So huge shout out to everyone involved, from doing things as little as standing in front of a green screen and saying, "Hi, welcome to the show," which is all I did, to all of the incredible work and editing and actual cutting of trailers that you all did. So I want to start us off and just say incredible work, and I'm excited to do more in the future. We're here to answer some questions that people have, both from ourselves as well as anything in the Twitch chat. If you want to come up with any questions, please hit us up. But I'm going to ask us first, just because Jory's in the top left there. Jory, this was news to me, and I think all of us. What's up with the Moonshot wrestling game?
That shit fucking rules. I'm so excited about that.
Hold on,
Oh, God.
Let me do something here real quick. It'll be very tiny on the screen, so it'll be extra funny. But
I was quite honored to hear the me shitting on Riley about Pokemon immortalized once again. I'm never wrong.
I wanted to do my original thing for that is I wanted to have the clip from when we were playing Mario Party 2 years ago of Riley saying you're gonna beat Chris with a sock full of soap.
I have that. If you wanted it, I could have pulled that for you.
And we just have that on our soundboard.
Yeah, that's my alarm every morning. That's how I wake up.
I have this will let me sign in. I have the full VOD, but I didn't want to dig through 25 hours because I can't remember when or where it was said during that. But
I think I have it as an isolated clip in Capwing if you ever want it.
That's good to know. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while. It's a very basic thing because did you know that networks like iHeartRadio and Earwolf and Maximum Fun, they have a lot of people on them.
They do. Yeah. Did you put them all?
No, I put 5 of each. I just put a starter thing, and you can set it so that you use random generated competition. But basically, it's just a free browser game where it's supposed to be a wrestling sim, so it's an extra layer of goofiness to where we're saying it's a stream segment, but it's just a tables match or something.
That's so fucking cool.
Beautiful.
But I went through everything on our membership, everyone who's on the network to put them in the game. So I only made a couple of people's actual avatars. I think I could stream or something and have people stop by and be like, "Hey, make me look like this or give me this." The only creative decisions I made was to make Riley the only heel. And and then I made Chris look like Rob Matter. Have you ever seen them in the same room? Think about it. But
it's hard-hitting journalism. Thank you.
Well, incredible. We will have. Where can people find this?
If you just go to journeyofwrestling.com, and then it lets you search for scenarios. If you just type in Moonshot, it's going to be the only one there. It's a fun. I used to play it a lot while nothing was going on at my old job before I moved, and it's just wrestling. You make your wrestling thing go to the top. Right now, my goals for the year: make Jacqueline Swampert a face of the company, win 1 Wrestler of the Year award, and hold 3, 4, and 3/4 or higher star matches. And it'll give you random goals to make. One of them when I was testing them, it was throw Felix, Alexandrite System, and Wheels into a trio and make them the top stars as a trio.
Oh my gosh.
But I put everyone who's in singular podcasts. I put together as like a team, plus Argonauts are one, like stuff like that. Everyone's in a team for like a default podcast, so it's
That rules. That's so fucking cool.
good.
Thank you so much for doing this shit.
I'm gonna be working on it more to make it more like fleshed out, add more like goofy shit for the matches, but yeah.
I can't believe that we have. So we've got a website, and when we were going to set it up, I joked that we could have a tab for games, like we used to do on old like CartoonNetwork.com, where I spent a lot of my time.
Oh my
And
God,
this is coming to fruition in a way that's very scary to me.
I can link it. Jory, we'll talk. I think I can link that through the Moonshot. You open up the games section. It takes you to the dunk tank and takes you to that.
Perfect. All right. Well, speaking of other things that we have that you can already access already. I want to cut over. Hey, Claudia, what's up with you getting locked in a murder basement? What's up with We See Saw?
Yeah, so We See Saw is Nicole and my rewatch podcast of the entire Saw franchise, which is 9 movies long. A lot of people don't know that and are very surprised by that fact. And the 10th movie is coming out on September 29th. They changed the date on me, which was very frustrating. And Nicole and I have already shot all of this while we were locked in that basement. We're thankfully free now. And it's all set to go. We are very excited to see the new movie next week. Jeez, and Crow, next week.
They bumped up the release date on you, didn't they?
Yeah, they did by a month. Originally, it was supposed to be 1 episode a week. Now it's 2, which I think works better.
Yeah, that's pacing, baby.
Awesome. So 2 episodes a week. That Mondays and Thursdays. Did I hear that right?
Yep.
And that is We See Saw, a name that I have been pronouncing wrong the entire time we've been talking about this show. Incredible. And other stuff that's started off. What's up, Jacqueline, with Unwise Girls, Magnus chasing the gods of Asgard?
Well, we took a whole 1.5 years for Rick Riordan's last series, and now we're back to sort of his little interstitial, like 3-book little mini other mythology series. We're really excited because it sort of gets back to like a sort of fresh but like back to basics approach that Rick Riordan is taking, where it's not like a million different characters, it's not a whole mess of things. It's good stuff. I think we've got an episode out so far. Just reading 6 chapters at a time, weekly, Fridays. It's really good.
I have no idea if you're being sarcastic or not about the characters, but I'm scared.
I like the characters so far, although the sneak preview for the next episode, there is a character who we meet named Thomas Jefferson Jr.
Oh, God.
So,
Mr. Miranda? Is that you?
Lady Tabletop in the chat wants to know, how are you feeling about the new Riordan book out this year?
I'm excited for it. I haven't read any of the new ones because I haven't read any of the new ones. I'm probably not going to read the new one that's coming out like next week, I think.
Jesus.
But he's really cranking them out, and I'm excited for that to extend our podcast eternally.
Well, perfect. Very excited. I'm going to keep us moving on. Marn, Riley,
hello.
Jay, I think that's everyone on this call that's involved with this. What's up with Interstitial Infinity?
What a good question.
What a great question. We are, 13 episodes into recording right now?
Yeah, we're 13 episodes in. It is probably gonna shape up to be slightly less than 20 episodes, I want to say.
Oh, that's scary.
Probably probably like 17 if I had to put an exact number on it.
Oh gosh.
This has been the most action-packed interstitial that I have been a part of. And that's pretty joyous.
It's been wild.
I've seen you all talk behind the scenes where going in, you said, oh, one of the things about Interstitial is that it's a tabletop game that isn't really built for combat. And then every week I hear you all leave a recording booth battered and bruised going, oh, never mind.
There's only really been a few episodes where that's been the case, but those ones just kind of stick with us for a very long time. The bruises last, and then there's emotional bruises in the episodes in between those. And listeners, that's what you have to look forward to.
I think Riley literally rewrote the rules to Interstitial 2E to be like, no, never mind, you can do combat in this game.
It says I used to say you couldn't, but then Marn last name taught me otherwise.
Yeah.
Incredible. So you showed off a lot of characters that we are going to see. Interstitial is the game all about bringing in people from different universes and worlds and timelines. Who are each of you most excited to let people hear you all meet? Do you know what I'm asking? Don't spoil anything too hard, but what are you all looking forward to people listening and going, oh, they're bringing them in?
There's a way to find out one of them. Let me tell you, you'd be mighty lucky to find it.
Yeah. I will be like, I will self-aggrandize my own character and say I am very excited to bring my Shigeo Kageyama to the microphone. Mob Psycho is an anime that I have watched twice in like 2 years, and that has like come to mean a lot to me. And when Marn pitched, hey, do you want to be on this kind of season of this show? One, I went, let me go watch 4 seasons of Infinity Train real quick and learn what that is. And once I did that, I went, oh, okay, this little fucker is perfect for this place, and you're going to find out why. But really, I think, like, to not spoil individual characters, there is a lot of work every one of us do, including Marn, with every character Marn's brought into it, to not just bring the characters, but the baggage and other stuff and other characters surrounding those characters into the show in ways and contexts that are like incredibly exciting for us episode to episode recording it, and I think are going to be just as exciting listening to it.
I can't wait for you all to meet Popcorn. That's all I can say.
Whom? Hello?
Sorry, Lunchbox.
Are you talking about Lunchbox?
Are you talking about my best friend, Lunchbox, Riley? I can't wait for y'all to meet my best friend, Lunchbox.
Yeah, I was gonna say, part of the good thing about Infinity Train is that you could just make up like a funny little animal companion, and everybody loves them. And I made up a little turtle guy named Lunchbox who is going to become a beloved character and already is in my heart.
That's such a good name for a turtle.
I know!
Marn, if I can on that, I really applaud you. Like, the mix of original characters and characters from stuff that you've doled out to us are like, I never know which to expect, and that's been kind of a fun position to be put in. Because as much fun as it is in Interstitial to always be like, oh, it's that guy from, whatever show, there's a really good variety of stuff on this fucking train.
Yeah. And maybe there's a way to see some of those people who we haven't revealed yet.
Yeah, I noticed there was some weirdness in the trailer that aired, which will be
don't worry
up
about it.
Compression issue. We're fixing it.
It'll be up on YouTube soon if you want to rewatch that and get a thing you can pause. But also, Marn, I know that to make this, you've been making a lot of AMVs set to the characters. How's that been going?
Yeah, I have a billion of them. I'm hoarding them so that we can put them out as the actual show is airing, so that I have a thing. Because, like, Riley did the ones for season 3 that were, like, the characters as sprites actually talking to each other, and I'm, like, actually in Capwing cutting things to, like, emo music. Yeah.
Marn got COVID and then went under the hood and then came out like sweaty and bruised with 8 AMVs and just said, "You guys want to see this shit?"
Incredible. Looking forward to seeing all of that. Yeah, awesome. Can't wait to see it and hear it, and a true multimedia experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of going to great lengths for multimedia exposure, Wheels, what's up with history? How's Total Depravity?
There's a lot with history. It's tough. There's so much of it. And I do got to correct your pronunciation. It's actually Total Depravity. That's my education, religious studies education program. The first episode is already out for Moonshot patrons, so they might have seen it, but I am I'm basically at the end of the research and writing stage for the second episode, which is about an extinct religion called Manichaeism. That by raise of hands, has anyone heard of Manichaeism before, or no? It's a few hands. So this was a religion. This was a religion that existed from like the 200s to the 800s. It was basically right between the Roman Empire and the Sasanian, Iranian, Persian empires. Really cool place in time and geographical history. And there's so much weird stuff that I learned just about this extinct religion, but also about so much of the rest of the world. It was a religion that spread on the Silk Road, and as it aged from the 200s to the 800s, it kind of shifted east. So we're going to learn about early Christianity, post-Second Temple Judaism, Chinese Buddhism, and of course Manichaeism along the way. It's some really weird stuff. You're going to learn about their both their theology, but also like what they practiced, or at least what we know about what their daily lives were like from the fragments of text we have. I'd love to go into more detail, but I would just be babbling.
And I'm sure there's historical and scientific consensus about all of it, right?
No! There's so many points where I've hit, it's like, well, I don't speak Mandarin, so I guess I'm kind of stuck here, but I'm doing my best. That's why it's been taking me a while. There's some really fun, there's some really interesting stuff even in the modern day that I'll be able to get to, because Wikipedia lies to you and says that this extinct religion still exists on certain Wikipedia pages, so it'll be fun to explain why that's not true and why it's on Wikipedia in the first place.
Incredible. I'm really looking forward to it. I was about to do a very weird pitch to Riley, but Riley is stepping away.
I'm just opening my window. I just need to get an airflow.
All right. Well, then this is a weird pivot. But speaking of weird timelines that no one can seem to agree on, Riley and Jay, tell me about Historia, homies. What is this new stream coming to Moonshot?
Yes. Me and Jay both like The Legend of Zelda quite a bit. And I have, during Tears of the Kingdom, I fell back in love with it, and I was listening to the podcast Hello Hyrule. Then I shared that with Jay, and I said, "Would you like to do a Twitch stream with me?"
Hello Hyrule, one of the hosts of whom was in our chat earlier. Shout out to a man named Babs in the chat earlier.
But we are going to be playing through. It's too much to say we're going to play through every Zelda game. That's silly. We are going to play the first 2 hours of every Zelda game, and we're going to roll them randomly on to figure out which one is which and where we start, including remakes or separate. And I'm so excited because I've been sitting here with a Switch full of Zelda games I haven't touched again, and so we're gonna fuck around with Majora's Mask, Majora's Mask, which Jay you dropped. You haven't played.
Yeah, I dropped. So we were watching the, we were in this call watching the direct go forth before we hopped on here. And during the select and start segment where Kiefer was talking about Majora's Mask, I mentioned I haven't played it. If you've listened to my episode of Select and Start, I talk about that a little bit, because the game I'm talking about, Outer Wilds, is a time loop game like Majora's Mask. Time loops stressed me out. The idea of that stressed me out as a kid. So we're going to confront stuff like that. We're going to talk about, like, have you played this one? Why haven't you played this one? What's your relationship with it, etc., etc. I'm really excited to do it. Basically, my version of what Riley described as what happened is Riley got Tears of the Kingdom and got awakened as a sleeper cell agent, and then messaged me and awakened me as a sleeper cell agent. And now we're just running around Hyrule like that. And we're very excited to just talk about all these Zelda games and the insane lore connections and, like Andrew said, timelines that no one can agree on. It's going to be great.
I forgot I'm deeply invested in every ounce of the Legend of Zelda mythos, and that I can recite a lot of it. And if you ask me about like my opinions on Saria and Link's relationship, I will talk to you for hours and then go listen to Hot Mulligan and feel really normal about it.
Do you have an idea of when this stream is going to be starting and what day it's going to be?
I know we want to do Fridays, right, Jay?
Yeah, Fridays soon. So Fridays probably in the next few weeks.
Yes,
let's say that probably can have some heavy lifting just in case lightning strikes one of us, or one of us draws a sword and has to go on a great heroic quest. But yeah, probably sometime very soon, Fridays at Moonshot. Is it moonshot.mov or moonshotnetwork.mov?
Moonshot.mov, baby.
Moonshot.mov, baby.
There we go. And next up, Jory, I know that you snuck in a thing there. You got the last episode of Casual Wrestling Fan Podcast coming out soon?
Sure do. It was recorded all the way back in February.
Let's go.
It's we got a very special guest who no one will know or recognize because he doesn't really exist online. But we are it will be it's about a very special TV special about wrestling. Are you guys familiar with that TV show that was like, here's how magicians do their tricks? And the masked magician would show you people's tricks, and as a 7-year-old go, oh no, how's he doing this? The magicians are gonna kill him. It's that, but with wrestling. Someone thought it was a genius idea to go, hey, you fucking rubes, wrestling is scripted. They don't actually beat each other up. And it's like 45 minutes of that just going, and the people in the audience don't know because they're dumb as shit and they're fucking marks who don't know that wrestling's fake as hell. Aren't they so stupid? And it's incredibly funny.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to learn the secrets of wrestling and how it all actually plays out. Riley, what's a D-Watch podcast?
People who know of Never Believe It know that it is a Naruto D-Watch podcast. You've asked me now what a D-Watch podcast is. You know a rewatch podcast. It's watching something in good faith, trying to make an analysis of it, to learn more about it, to grow from it. No. We say no. We say no to that. We watch Naruto, only the filler of Naruto, when we moved forward. And now we have pitched No Piece, where we will watch 50 random episodes of One Piece. Every episode, we will roll a 1,079 sided die, and we will watch an episode of One Piece. I am the only one who has watched, at this point, I would say a good 500 episodes of One Piece, but I am at episode 800. So I am the one who cares about it, and we will build from there. Yes, Jory, hand raised.
What's a One Piece?
Great question. We will answer
know
this
by the end. It sounds like
we will. Me, Ray, and Sarah McCostumes, and our good fourth chair, Colin, are going to push forward. We will record, and we have been welcomed onto the Moonshot Network. It is as best I could say it, a Dadaist performist podcast.
Where
have
did
a good
you get a
time.
1,000-sided die?
Google.
It has eaten up most of the Moonshot funds. Please go to patreon.com/Moonshot Network.
It's a big golf ball. I can't wait. Man, I'm so excited. We need none of the voice actor for Luffy isn't on Cameo right now, which is a bummer because we have Mally Flanagan saying Never Believe It, and I would like the voice actor for Luffy to say Never No Peace. But we'll get it. We'll get around to it.
Do you think you could get live action Luffy's actor to do it?
Oh,
I bet you could.
Let me just implant that into your head real quick.
I'll look.
Please go to patreon.com/Moonshot Network because we're shooting the moon. And last but not least, we don't have any of the hosts of it on tonight, but we got to show off on our stream a lot of really cool podcasts that have come out in this past year. A lot of the new pitch class from 2023, some other shows that other hosts on the network have started and kept up with and that have grown since joining the network. And in our 2023 pitch class, we had one podcast that has needed a little time in the oven that we are about to see. We let them cook. We let them cook for a long time, and then they came back and said, "Hey, we've got a special guest."
You know that guy from The Shape of Water?
So yeah, to answer the question that everyone had, yeah, that Doug Jones. Argent is an actual play podcast that is coming out soon. You will find it on the Moonshot Network. We will be tweeting up a storm when it does. And we're in for really good stuff. I've heard what they've been cooking, and it's coming back great.
Yeah. Also, they're class of 2022, but the new season of the Hyperfixation started literally today, so go listen to it.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of us have been on forthcoming episodes of it. Me and Audrey from Alone at the Table are on one together. Can't wait for y'all to hear that.
Sasha, who's tea cabbage in the chat, are you that old Vine mean, as Awful World has asked? I think you would have to tell me.
Legally, you have to tell us. Sasha is the creator of Spindle Wheel, which is maybe what people have heard their name attached to.
Well, on that note, we bid goodbye to Vine. Does anyone here have any other questions before we call it a night?
I'm really gonna miss Vine, you know.
Really gonna? Jay, I have horrible news.
Terrible news.
Wait, I've been asleep for a decade in whatever Link wakes up in Breath of the Wild. Vine's still around, right?
I love the pronunciation that we're using on some of these words. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, you know, the Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
I love Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
I have bad news about like Barnes and Noble, I think.
Fuck.
Benji, you did have a question earlier in the chat. You are right. I think I speak for everyone here when I say it feels really good to keep creating, which is why we're going to keep doing it. And we hope that you brings a little extra joy into your day as you listen to us while you drive, while you do while you do a job that is bad, that you don't like, or a job that's good.
Or do that job bad.
Or, yeah, frankly, if you're out there doing a bad job, by all means,
fuck 'em up, homie.
keep on keeping on. Speaking of pitches, okay, this is something I did want to talk about. We are probably not going to be doing another pitch season for 2023. As we just showed off, we have had a lot on our plate this past year, and we continue to have a lot on our plate as we keep going. We've also grown the network to a very reasonable size, and that is something that we are very proud of and happy about, and it is exciting to have the creators that we've brought on have all stayed on and keep creating and making new directions and going in new directions and figuring out new ways to play around in this space. And as a result, we do not have the bandwidth to do a dedicated pitch season like we normally do. We will be resuming pitches in 2024. I don't see this being a thing that we just say that we are never taking pitches for podcasts again. We are just full up at the moment, and we are seeing what comes next and building out what we've got going on at the present. So,
and Andrew, if they want to see everybody, like if they want to see a good chunk of people, maybe on a stream or something, is there something that, you know, is around the corner?
Perhaps in one place together?
Golly, I hope you all don't get sick of this set, because it's going to be full of people soon. Because we are going to be hosting Extra Life live from my basement. We'll see how that goes, but it will be 11/11, Zorro's birthday, if I remember right. November 11th, that Saturday, we are going to be doing Extra Life again, raising money for local children's hospital through the Children's Miracle Care Network. Yeah, it's always a good time. We're excited to see what we can all put together, and there might be a trivia wizard, there might be Mario Party or something adjacent.
There might be dueling fuser sets.
Hell yeah. 11/11, the birthday of Roranora Zorro and Kurt Vonnegut, my two favorite people. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great time. Yeah.
That's it. That's all we got, baby.
That's all that we've got for right now. So until next time, thanks for joining us, and keep shooting the moon with us. Bye, everyone.
Hell yeah. Deuces.
Bye.